And open your eyes. Welcome, welcome to Saturday morning Kundalini Yoga. My name is Maharaj Kaur, Marcia. When Guru Jagat signed my book, sometimes you forget what your name means. Maharaj means royal. That's a thing. What the fuck? You know, no pressure. And that's what happens with spiritual lessons, spiritual names, vortexes of energy. They always give you just a little more than you think you are, because we're human. So today is about, can you drop your opinion about you and everybody else? And don't fill it in. That's the hardest thing, right? When you drop something, you want to put something better or whatever. You want something else in its place. Instead, let us just drop it. Today, we are still in the new moon of Aquarius, and we are on the Chinese New Year, a fire rooster. And the fire rooster is exuberant. This is a year about dreams coming true. This is about speaking your truth. It's about being flamboyant. And it's so funny, because when I was a kid, I had chickens. We had farm animals on at my home, goats and chickens. But at my grandfather's, we had cows, chickens, everything. And my grandfather grew wheat. He was a wheat farmer. But when I was little, what always struck me, and I don't think we knew what we were doing, you don't actually have to have a rooster if you're just taking their eggs. Why we had one, I don't freaking know. But I was like 8 or 9 years old, and it was my job to go get the eggs. And we had a rooster, Rhode Island Red. And man, was he just something. And he was such a rooster. I mean, he was beautiful, and he made all this noise, and he strutted around. But he was gnarly, and he had these prongs that came out the side of his arms. So, to him, when you came into the coop, those are his girls. Make no mistake, don't be messing with his ladies, you know? I'm freaking 8. I just want the eggs. What the hell? So I was scared to death, and it didn't take me hardly long, you know, and I had this timber wolf, half timber wolf and German Shepherd, Duke. He was just an angel. But he wanted to eat those chickens. It took everything he had not to get. A couple times he did get in the coop and had his way with a few. But overall, Duke was a good boy. So he would walk up to the chicken coop with me, and he would sit there at the gate and kind of look at me like, good luck. And so I got in the habit of bringing a broom. And I would walk in, shut the gate, the rooster would come, and I tell you, this is not very humane. I would knock him from here to Teen Company, you know, just bam! And he would just go flying, and just like, he would be all in this situation of recovering from that, and I would run. I would run in there, open up the thing where all the nests were, get the freaking eggs, and I mean, it's not long from when I hit him till he's getting his senses back together. By the time I'm coming out, I've got the basket, I'm looking at him, and I am running for the gate. It was like torture every freaking morning. But he was something. And then finally my dad said, maybe we should get rid of him, but we should do the right thing. We should make use of him. This is not very yogi. So we ate him. And it was awful, because I think he was like 1,000,000 years old. It was so disgusting. But my dad was like, we should not waste. Let's do this. And I'm like, I remember it was like chicken and dumpling. It was just disgusting. It was so gross. But we were all glad to see him go. I hate to say, you know, it's like, oh my God. And all the other chickens had names, but he did not. He was just the rooster that drove you crazy. So I bring it up because this is the year of the rooster. He had a lot of power, didn't he? And the thing about, what are those comments that we say? Don't go off half-cocked. That's a big part of this year. Wait. Don't be such a rooster. And definitely don't be so fiery. Wait this year to really be, you know, you may get that rooster fire and that rooster enthusiasm, but stay with it and give it some time to percolate and show you its way. because the rooster has a tendency of making a lot of noise and really getting a lot of attention and not going anywhere else with it. And none of us want that, right? So that's part of our message today. And we're going to deal with the air element of the Aquarius moon. So we're going to do a set on pranayama to prepare us for the Kriya, which really goes with Aquarius sun, Aquarius new moon. And it's interesting, a lot of times, even I had this one talk of Yogi Bhajan where he refers to Aquarius as the water bearer. As a water sign. And sometimes it gets mixed up because here she's carrying this tub of water and she's pouring it. But she is really about pouring flow. It's the flow of consciousness that Aquarius is ruling. It is an air sign, it is mental, and it is detached. So that is a really good thing to have in your heart and in your energy field when you are at the beginning of the year. This is our first new moon. And when you're planting seeds, you always want to pay attention to what does that sign feel like. So Aquarius is not detached, it's not attached as much. So you might be able to be more clear today about what it is you need to cultivate. Less emotional. It might not make sense to the other parts of your life. Yesterday, Tony and I taught at the San Diego Yoga Festival. And when we're driving down there, I'm sitting in the car and I go, oh my God, do you realize that 25 years ago, we were making this same drive. Now we were making it from Vista, but we were making it from Oceanside. 25 years ago. We were going to Ocean Beach, which is very close to what? Sunset Cliffs. And 25 years ago, we stood at Sunset Cliffs with a friend of ours, my teacher, Wanda Benet, and she married us. And I thought, isn't this weird? You know, now 25 years later, we teach this yoga together, and here we are heading down 25 years later to the same place. Pay attention. What's going on? And I have to say, it was so much fun. It was so much fun to be outside and be on the grass and to be in the elements and to teach Kundalini Yoga. And it was more than I thought it would be. I love to teach people who have never done Kundalini Yoga, and I love to teach people I've never met. It's such a heart connection. You just get to be with people. And in this festival, as you can imagine, we had to have the San Diego PD everywhere because, you know, shit happens when a bunch of people are together. And these two beautiful police officers were like off to my right, and I kept noticing them. And they were smiling, and they were listening, and they were like so into it. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so freaking cute. And so, you know. And then afterwards, you know, one of them in particular came up and shook Tony's in my hand, and he said, the energy down here can be so rough. What you just did changed everything. For him to notice that, and what I am really present to is we are so narrow-minded sometimes. You know, I've never liked cops because I was such a wild kid. Drugs, alcohol. I still have this vivid memory of myself at 19 years old in these stilettos running from the cops. And my girlfriend's like behind me saying, take off your shoes. I go, I run better in them. And I did. I got away from them. I remember running. I got down the thing. I jumped a fence in a mini skirt and stilettos. She couldn't get over the fence. It was like, bye. Of course, I think I was a little higher than she was at the time. So I never liked police officers. You know, it's so weird how that's still that image, like they're going to get me. I'm not. And also, what am I really feeling? I'm bad. I'm bad. You're going to figure it out, and you're going to get me. And so yesterday was just a healing for me to be present to, that's just a costume he's wearing. He's just a man. And he's doing a pretty scary job. And, you know, it's so interesting. Life has been just mixing this all together for me because it's like we're all kind of in the same position, you know, like he's trying to keep us safe. And like my daughter right now, she's the queen of latitude. Latitude 33 brewery, beer company. She's pregnant, and now she's just Miss Fluff about everything. So she really wants mommy to teach hoppy yoga, which means we're going to teach yoga at 4:30 happy hour, and then you can have a beer after, which is like, I'm an alcoholic. It's like, oh my God, this is so fucking weird. And Treasure's like, Mom, don't be so judgmental. She goes, it's not like you have to drink. You just do the yoga and leave. She goes, you are both, this is so classic, you are both serving up spirit. And she goes, and you don't know which one they need. And I'm like, and she goes, honestly, I think you might get some really good customers out of it, Mom. So I haven't agreed, but I haven't disagreed. She got so in my field about it. I'm like, all right, Mommy's going to think about it. And I said, why don't you have Daddy? She goes, no, Mom, it needs to be you. You're fun. You should be in a bar. I'm like, oh my God, that is so me. But I think my point is, that's so Aquarius. That's this energy. Aquarius loves to look at, it's kind of like phonics, you know? You got the broccoli, the carrot, the potato, and a pineapple. Which does not belong? And in some way, Aquarius asks you, like, you know what? Stop that. This isn't phonics. They're all edible. They all belong. And so as we move through our Kriya together, I want that where all of that starts with every single one of us is inside. Wherever you are discounting yourself or not belonging, you know, that part of me that would have never shook hands with that police officer, that's the one I have to talk to today. Who is she? I mean, my God, that's like a 20-year-old wound. Really? Do we have to still carry that around? So to really pay attention to that little nuance that is having probably too much influence on you. And the new moon in Aquarius says, let's have some fun. And how it wants you to have fun is to just do one thing. Admit you only know one thing that you don't know. Are you willing to be in a space of mystery and trust God? Because you're missing out on yourself and everybody around you, when everybody and yourself. The reason we chalk up everything is why we chalk ourselves up. You wouldn't do it if that was not your mode of operation. So we do Kundalini Yoga to have these glimpses and these little pockets of freedom where we feel like, and when you feel free, people around you are free. And it goes in all these situations. Here's the polar opposite. After I was done at the festival, I went to my good friend Sheila's event, and it was like a la-di-da event, like all these rich ladies, right, at the new moon thing. I don't like them either. I don't like cops, and I don't like la-di-da people. You know? I mean, I am so freaking judgmental. It's like, wow, you've got freaking issues, girl. But the thing is, this is what Kundalini is, self-awareness. I can feel that. So what is that? When I was walking in, I was just present to how I was feeling. What I felt was less than. Like I don't know what to say. I'm really not the most friendly. Me and Hina were talking about this. This is what I can do. At a party, I find one person that seems lonely and you're my freaking person. Hi! You know, you will not even know I'm there. I will be this one person and then I will leave. But I was just being with what was going on for me and just to be present to, could this change? Could I have a different experience of these kind of people? What kind of people am I talking about? I don't even know these women. So today's about dropping all that. Aquarius wants you to find something imaginative and undiscovered. So let's do that together. All of this is a part of what we're going to do in the Mind and Meditation 3-day. It's all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Are any of you kind of crazy? Raise your hand. Well, if you're not signed up, what the hell? And if it's a money thing, just talk to me. We'll work it out. It's $350, but if you can't do that, let's work it out. Because we have to, especially as a tribe, We have to be together. And we're going to go through these amazing, and it's more of an advanced practice. It's more like that at level 2, you know? And so if you're a teacher in Kundalini, you're going to be able to use it on your clients. And if you're a practitioner, you're going to make an evolutionary leap, because we are going to go after what Yogi Bhajan calls the mental intrigue. And it's a way we've never done it. The whole thing, the way you can get out of your mental obsessions is sound current, not just mantra. But you have to identify to the sound current in which you berate yourself. You have to really hear that and then start to change it. It's only the current. It's not necessarily what it's saying. So you could say, you're stupid, but if you say like, hey, you're so stupid, you're so freaking dumb, it's just not the same. And there's all these nuances of it, and Yogi Bhajan is a freaking genius. And we're gonna just bring those. So Friday, I'll be honest, it's gonna like leave you a little like, whoa. It's raw. But then Saturday is just gonna shoot you right out of it, and Sunday is gonna have you live in it. And on Saturday, we're gonna have a band here, Hargo and Feather, and we're also gonna have Sheil teach this Satnarayan workshop on the sweetness of self. Every time, like last night, she was the best part of the night. What I love about Sheil is she totally explains a Kriya in a way I will never. She has been doing this all her life. She's only been a teacher for 3 years. It doesn't matter though. She's done Kundalini yoga and been a Sikh all her life. She gets it. And the way she delivers it and tells stories about the energy, I've never seen anything like it. And also, you know what? You can feel her sadhana and her greatness. And that means a lot to me. I'm never going to put anybody in front of you who I don't look at them and go, they got it. We don't all have to have it, but we deserve to have whoever sits here give us that transmission. So if you can come, come. All right, so let's do some freaking yoga. Rub your hands together. Take your hands over your head and just shake them out. Awesome. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Bring your hands down onto your knees and settle in. We're going to start with movement because the set is going to have a lot of breath of fire. So I want you to bring your heart forward. Inhale and circle it around. Deep breath. Open your mouth and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Keep moving your spine, your prana, your life, your heart. Hear the breath.